The Battle of Quebec was fought in October 1690 between the colonies of New France and Massachusetts Bay, then ruled by the kingdoms of France and England, respectively. It was the first time Quebec's defences were tested. Following the capture of Port Royal in Acadia, during King William's War, the New Englanders hoped to seize Quebec itself, the capital of New France. The loss of the Acadian fort shocked the Canadians, and Governor-General Louis de Bois de Frontenac led the immediate preparation of the city for a possible siege. When the envoys delivered the terms of surrender, the Governor-General famously declared that his only reply would be by the mouth of my cannons, for Major John Worley led the invading army, which landed at Beauport in the basin of Quebec. However, the militia on the shore were constantly harassed by local militia until their retreat, while the expedition's ships, commanded by Sir William Phipps, were nearly destroyed by cannon volley fire from the top of the city. Both sides learned from the battle. The French improved the city's defences, while the New Englanders realised they needed more artillery and better support from England to take the city. The New Englanders saw that the only possible place to crack the defences was on the city's northeastern side, where the walls were weakest. Their plan was to land their main force on the Beauport shore east of the St. Charles River and have it cross the river in the fleet's boats, along with the field guns. When the landing force was on the heights west of Quebec, the fleet would attack the city and land a second force there. Frontenac had expected the land attack to come from Beauport, and the banks of the river had already been built up with field fortifications on the southwestern side. He proposed to fight only a skirmishing action there, holding his regulars in reserve for a European-style battle on the open ground west of Quebec. However, the open battle never took place. The 1,200-strong English landing force under Major John Worley, Phipps' second-in-command, never got across the St. Charles. Frontenac had sent strong detachments of Colony of Canada militiamen under Jacques Lemoyne de Sainte-Hélène, along with some First Nation warriors, into the wooded areas east of the river. When the English landed on the 18th of October, they were immediately harassed by Colony of Canada militia, while the ship's boats mistakenly landed the field guns on the wrong side of the St. Charles. Meanwhile, Phipps's 4 large ships, quite contrary to the plan, anchored before Quebec and began bombarding the city until the 19th of October, at which point the English had shot away most of their ammunition. The French shore batteries had also proved to be much more than a match, and the ships were pounded until the rigging and hulls were badly damaged. The ensign of Phipps' flagship, the Six Friends, was cut down and fell into the river, and under a hail of musket shots, a daring group of members of the Colony of Canada paddled a canoe up to the ships to capture it. Unscathed, they triumphantly brought the ensign back to the governor. During the bombardment, the land force under Worley remained inactive, suffering from cold and complaining of shortage of rum. After a couple of miserable days, they decided to carry the shore positions and try to overcome the French earthworks. They set out on the 20th of October in the best European tradition, with drums beating and colours unfurled, but there was a skirmish at the edge of the woods. The New Englanders could not cope with the maintained heavy Colony of Canada fire, and the brass field guns fired into the woods had no effect. Although Sainte-Hélène was mortally wounded, 150 of the attackers had been killed in action and were utterly discouraged. They retreated in a state of near panic on the 22nd of October, even abandoning 5 field guns on the shore. Although another expedition was launched against Quebec during Queen Anne's War in 1711, it failed to reach its target when transports wrecked with great loss of life in the Gulf of St. Lawrence. The city's improved defences would not be tested until the Battle of the Plains of Abraham in 1759.